Okay, thank you so much for joining me. This is the time that I'm doing a YouTube live. I want to try it and see whether I can be doing it often. So the title of this YouTube live is what makes it hard for you to heal. Actually, it is specifically 3 things that make it hard for you to heal. And if you follow me on my page or even here, I know you know that healing is so close to my heart, and it is because I have come to know, and you will confirm if you have been, teaching yourself these things, that the reason why we have so many problems in society, or put better, so many problems in our society will come to an end if we can have psychologically healthy people. So people who are both physically and psychologically healthy, and also spiritually healthy for that matter. So healing is so close to my heart. And so I want to take you through 3 things that could be keeping you wounded. Number 1, you are focusing more on learning about healing as opposed to implementing. And yes, this is something that I've come to know that is a prevalent problem. I'm telling you, I dare say that there are people who know so much about childhood wounds, about childhood trauma, about science of being wounded, about relationship trauma and what it causes, about techniques for healing. They know so much. They have read books, they have watched videos, they have done all this. They have even, people who know so much, but they are still wounded. What is happening here? They have focused more on acquiring knowledge than implementing it. And actually, one of my clients recently confessed and told me, Jennifer, I think my problem is that I have overloaded myself with information, but I don't know what to do with it, or not even I don't know, but I've not done anything with it. And that is why I'm still struggling with my challenges. So what am I saying? Even if it is extremely important for you to learn these things, and I actually am one person who believes that schools should even, add them into the syllabus. Children should be taught about trauma, relationship trauma, and especially maybe from high school onwards, because that is where we start. They can have a foundation in upper primary, and then in high school they start being escalated. By the time a person is getting to campus, university or college, they know how you can know that you have some psychological challenges. And I'm talking about not just the depression and anxiety, I'm talking about the nitty-gritty ones. Low self-esteem, low self-worth, trust issues, anger issues. I honestly believe they should be taught that and how to seek help and where. So I appreciate the importance of learning. It has its place. I'm a lifelong learner, by the way. I'm always learning. I can't get enough of it. In fact, I can assure you before the day ends, I will be on a book. I'll be reading a book. There's a very good book that I'm reading that is called The Mountain is You by Brianna West. But learning enough, acquiring knowledge enough, it is not enough to make you, learning enough, acquiring so much knowledge, it is not enough to help your healing. You need to go a step further and start implementing. In fact, this was my advice to one of my clients who was telling me that he knows so much, but he has not benefited from it. And I told him, it was a man actually, you need to pick one issue at a time. Like you have already known some of the techniques you can use to overcome low self-esteem. For instance, one of them is setting realistic goals. Pick that, implement it, and give yourself a timeline and say, for the next 3 weeks, I'll be setting realistic goals and working on them. And then at the end of the 3 weeks, ask yourself, have I felt a difference? The number two strategy for overcoming low self-esteem, it is surrounding yourself with positive people who use positivity and optimism. So you pick that too. You get rid of all those toxic people who put you down, and then implement that for 3 weeks, for 1 month, and then ask yourself, am I feeling a difference? One thing at a time, and don't go to the next before you feel good, better with this one. You work on one thing at a time, and you escalate as you pick more and add more to your basket. Otherwise, if you pick this, and all that, and you try to work with all of them at a go, I'm telling you, that is like signing up for sure failure. It is like signing up for sure failure, and you don't want that. So don't focus on learning more than implementing. Learn and implement. That is a strategy, by the way. I learn and make sure I'm putting it into practice, because opportunities for putting it into practice are always coming, because we have relationships, marriages. Relationships and marriages are one of the platforms where we apply, we apply what we learn through healing. They are one of the platforms that benefit from our healing and suffer because of our woundedness. So I'm always learning and implementing it in my marriage, and I'm seeing results. I always see results. So focusing more on learning as opposed to putting it into practice, it will cost you your healing. It will cost you your healing. You learn so much, but it will not have helped you. Number two, you are keeping a company of wounded people. You are here working so hard to heal, but the company you have is of wounded people who actually don't want you to heal, because if you heal, you are going to deny them the company. You are going to deny them their misery company, and they don't want that. So what do? They will keep you wounded. So they will keep you in that space. They may do so by invalidating anything you say about healing. So you may tell them on the importance, I really need to work on my trust issues so that my relationships can work better. Then they'll tell you, there's nothing you can do to make your relationship work. Kama mtu ni wako ni wako, na kama mtu si wako si wako. And they will invalidate, and then you'll be like, I think it makes no sense. And so you sink back to that pit of woundedness. And also, people keeping a company of people who are wounded, it may not be harming you, but they are making the space comfortable, so to say. Because after all, you are not alone. So you are like, why am I making so much effort, and all these people are here, and anyway we can share our problems, we can share our challenges, and so on and so forth. So when you keep a company of people who don't value healing, that will be a huge factor hindering your healing journey. So, and that is why we usually say, sometimes the starting point of healing is actually to get rid of people who are sustaining the woundedness. And then from there, you can work things up. It gets way easier, trust me, it does. And of course, we know they won't just accept losing you, so they will try to persuade you, they will try to convince you otherwise, but you have to be really determined. You have to own your healing journey so that you can increase the chances of it succeeding. So the third one, it is depending on other people to facilitate your healing process. And I have to clarify, I have to be really specific here. I know we are always talking of people going for therapy. I'm a therapist myself, by the way, and we're always telling people seek help. But there is something I want to emphasize and re-emphasize. Don't go for therapy and then expect the therapist to carry the 100% of your healing burden. It won't work. It won't work. Actually, we say healing is a partnership. The other day, let me give you a short story. The other day, I was appreciating my physician, the one I usually take my children to, because last year, December, there is a time my son had quite serious illness, and it was actually strange, because he had these whitish things. They looked like what? Like woods. I don't know what to call them. They were all through his gut system. The doctor told me so. And so he suffered a lot because he could not even eat solid. I had to blend juice, and give him. So the doctor, I was appreciating him because he helped me. He assisted my son, and my son got well. He attended to my son, and he recovered. And I remember him telling me something that I agreed with 100%, because he told me, Jennifer, healing is a partnership. So as much as I did my part, the reason why your son healed is because you also did your part. You purchased the medication, I would tell you. You made sure he got those medication. You made sure he ate well. And I was like, yeah, exactly. It is not entirely up to the doctor. So the same actually applies to a therapist. If you go to a therapist assuming that they will shoulder the entire 100% of the healing process, honestly, it won't work. But when you understand your part, and if you're not clear what you need to do, you can ask the therapist, What am I doing in this process? What is my role? And then you do it, you increase the chances of the therapy process being successful. Of that, I can assure you. Another thing, which also amounts to depending on other people to facilitate your healing journey, it is when maybe in marriage, and there are some things that you suffer from, either because of your childhood or because of past relationships, and now you are actually expecting your partner to you expect him to play a certain role that you are predetermined without even involving them. Let me tell you, I usually say no one owes you anything. It is good to start with that mindset, so that anything that you are assisted with, it is actually a privilege. It is actually a bonus that you're being added. So if you want to heal, you are a man or a woman, you want to heal from some past issues that you have, it is extremely important that you don't expect your partner to do this or the other for you. If they support you, well and good. But if they don't support you, if they don't take you for the therapy sessions, if they don't pay for you, if they don't do this and the other, you will still succeed if you have owned the process, if you have shouldered the burden. Actually, do you know one of the very important techniques of healing? It is taking responsibility for yourself. That is something you need to so do. So that anyone who chooses to help you, it will be a bonus. Otherwise, you know what you need to do and you're doing it. The same applies to your friends. The same applies to your extended family or whoever. My advice, my dear one, is to own the process, take responsibility for it. Don't depend on people. And also don't start saying, it is only when my mom does this that I'll be able to heal. It is only when my friends do this. It is only when my partner do. If they become a hindrance to your healing journey, like I've explained, and the people you can get rid of, they are not family. And even family, there is something you can do, and I'll explain that. You will need to do certain things. You can get rid of a person if it is a friend and they have become a hindrance to your healing journey, but don't sit there and expect them to behave like this or the other. And by the way, I can say, have someone welcome so much. You are so welcome. I'm so happy to have you. On the other hand, if it is your family, instead of sitting there and wishing that they can behave a certain way so that you can heal, perhaps you need to create certain boundaries. Perhaps you need to come out of your home. I usually meet people, like someone who is 20-something years, 26, 28 years, and they're telling me, Jennifer, my parents are like this and that is the reason why I'm wounded. And I'm like, what are you doing there? If you already know that they are part of your problem, if you already know that they are hindrance to your healing process, and you can actually sustain yourself, why are you not moving out? So, Kara, I can see you. You're so welcome. So, this is it. This is the thing. You need to own the process. Don't depend on a person to help you with this or the other. Even a therapist, it is a partnership. And when you own that process like that, when you approach it with that mindset, I'm telling you, the chances of healing, the chances of being successful at it, they're extremely high. So I hope you have learned something. I didn't want this to be so long, and I'm wishing you all the best. And if you are still struggling, wherever you are, whether you have seen a therapist or you have not, and you want a change or you want to do the things differently, I'm here, I'm a therapist. I'm going to add my number in the description box. You can see my number there. I do online sessions, meaning we can do it wherever you are in the world. And yes, online sessions do work, my people. Don't let anyone lie to you that they don't. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for always being here to learn. This is something I plan to do quite often. I pray that God enables me to be doing it. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.